Okay. I walk along the lonely street. I wonder if there's a chance I would meet someone like you, with lips double sweet, heart for hire, oh, oh, heart for hire, oh, oh.
Why is songwriting so important to me? I suppose it's because it's an ability to be able to be creative in some form that I really enjoy. Right? I can't draw very well, and I'm certainly not a sculptor, but quite early on I used to sing, and my mum and dad used to encourage me, because at Christmas time we'd have all these soldiers there who were ex-servicemen without wives, and they'd come and we'd all take turns to sing something, and my mum and dad encouraged me, and I enjoyed that because I could see they were smiling when I did that. And I think that it's an opportunity to be creative. And the beauty about singing or making music or recording or whatever is it's a bit like photography. You capture something in a moment, and if you're at a performance, it's very, very exciting, because no matter how many times you explain it, you won't be able to explain to somebody who wasn't there what it was like. And I'm sure yourselves, when you go on social media, you see people say, you should have been there. I was there, it was fantastic. And that's something that I always wanted to capture. That's something that I always wanted to do, because for me it was very thrilling. So I started experimenting with writing quite early on, but of course I was rubbish, you know. I couldn't even string 3 chords together. And then one day I'd been to the fair, and we used to have a fair in Stretford that used to come every year. And I know when you go to places you see like 4 or 5 rides. This was enormous. This was about 60 different rides and all sorts of things. It would take you a good couple of hours to walk around it. I mean, it wasn't like going to Alton Towers, but it was a proper travelling fair with lots and lots of rides. And I used to go there. Of course my mum would give me like 5 bob or whatever it was, you know, 50 pence as it was then, but the rides were cheap. And coming home, as I was walking back through, past through Ulford Park, a couple of lines came to me, right? And it was like, I'm thinking as I'm walking, you know, I walk along the lonely street, heart for hire, I wonder if there's a chance I might meet. And like, you know, I'm an adolescent, I'm 13, and I want to meet a girlfriend and fall in love like you're supposed to do, and hope that you do. And so I got home and got the guitar out, and out came the very first song that I'd written as a complete song, which was called Heart for Hire. And it's, for me, it'd be probably quite hard for me to write something like that now, because I think very early songs are kind of to the point really, and they're very, it was heartfelt, but not in a kind of in your cups way about not having been full. It's more in an optimistic way, and that's really, it inspired me to write things that, even though they may be about serious topics, right? I always try to keep some kind of sense of optimism, mostly in the voice, in what I was talking about. So if you're singing Heart for Hire, you know, wondering if there's a chance I might meet someone like me whose lips are double sweet. Now, I may have read that somewhere at some point. I'm not saying it's absolutely my words, but that's how it came out. And in 1982, when I went over, 1981, 82, when I went over to write for Meat Loaf, it's one of the first songs he picked up on. He said, I love that song. What's that? You know, and I had to write out the lyrics and stuff. Because I think most people who sing, who don't necessarily play an instrument, lots of singers, and I've worked with a few, they're really concerned that the words make sense, so that they can say what I'm singing isn't daft. And Heart for Hire, it's a pretty short song, it's about a minute 40 seconds, which is standard 1965 kind of stuff. It's a lot of fun to play, and at some point later I'll probably play it as one of those songs that we'll use in the show, and perhaps we'll have some of our guests over. I don't think I'll be able to get Meat Loaf to come over and be on it, but the idea is that I'm going to bring some people, you know, to come along and play some of their songs, you know. And Heart for Hire, we'll try to say, this is what I wrote at the start, what did you write at the start? And they'll be able to tell me that, and you'll see how different people write different kinds of things. It's great being a songwriter, because it's in the moment when you do it, And even if nobody ever hears it, the fact that it becomes reality for you, it's like playing an instrument, and it's another extension. And me, I've always played so that I feel a sense of not being forlorn. For some reason, even though there's nobody else in the room, for a minute I feel I belong with everybody else. And it's nothing to do about being intensely spiritual. It's just the fact that when you hear your own footsteps, you feel for a second that you're not on your own, there's somebody walking along with you. And I think it's the same when you're writing a song. It's about you just saying that you love, you know, I love life, I suppose. That's really what it's about for me. I like doing that.
Just as long as the leaves on the trees stay green, just as long as the flowers continue to grow, as long as I can see the sun, I want an answer and I won't take. Don't ever walk away as I'm walking up. Hey, the clouds are going away, it's gonna be fine. There's just a one thing more. Are you ever gonna be mine? Heart behind, oh, oh, heart behind, oh, oh, heart behind, oh, oh, heart behind, higher, higher, oh, 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 are you ever gonna be mine? Heart behind, oh, oh, heart behind.